We're back. Thanks for sticking with us. Okay, I'm joined now by two lovely people. We're going to be discussing National Hate Crime Awareness, because it is actually National Hate Crime Awareness Week, which is highlighting the issues around hate crime and how people can respond. Basically, we've got a little bit of information coming up here from... I'm joined by the lovely Karen. Hello, Karen.
Hi Juliet.
And the lovely... I've forgotten your name already.
It's Ollie.
Ollie.
How you doing?
I keep on wanting to say Aid.
Yeah, that's okay.
Sorry. Okay, so basically, welcome to Radio Cardiff, and yes, it is National Hate Crime Week. What can we do to sort of raise more awareness of this, and tell us about your calls today?
Okay, so we're here to talk about what Locality Solutions do, and that's where we come from, and how we're working with various public service bodies and partner agencies to tackle antisocial behaviour and hate crime. If we have to put a definition of hate crime for all the people out there, it's any crime that's targeted at a person because of hostility or prejudice towards that person's race or ethnicity, religion, sexual orientation, transgender identity, or disability.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good definition. It covers everything, and hate crime is just one of those things where it can affect everyone, whether you care for a person, whether it affects you directly. It's out there within society, and actually it came out yesterday, statistics from the government, that hate crime's risen 18% from the previous year. So it's a growing problem. I think there are some advances in how it's recorded, so that's partly down to that rise as well. But it does seem that hate crime is growing within communities too. And the most predominant hate crime is race-related. So statistics came out yesterday that was 85% of hate crime in Wales is related to race.
Yeah, which is huge. Our aim with our solution and our product is really to tackle hate crime and antisocial behaviour, really to improve community safety, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. So for us, it's about coming up with a solution to make it easier for people to report crime. And what this means is we're giving housing providers, partner agencies, support workers a really easy way to report incidents via an app to flag up to various agencies that a crime has taken place. And now, the biggest focus for us is to allow public services and partner agencies to share vital information to really resolve hate crime effectively and quickly for the safety of the victim and the community.
But hate crime affects everyone within society too.
Yeah.
And not just down to race, it can also be down to gender identity, disability too.
Sexual orientation is also one of the big ones, I think.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that we're kind of conscious of is where this hate crime takes place. So we're working really closely with social housing providers. One of the providers we're working with at the moment is the largest housing provider in Wales, which is, I think, 10,000 properties in Rhondda.
Yeah.
And they're working alongside the police, alongside community safety teams, in using our app. So basically, how it works is community safety officers will go out to the victim of a crime, whether it be hate crime or antisocial behaviour. They'll take all the details, and they'll also alert key agencies too.
I think the other side of the coin is the agencies and the housing providers having the right software solution to be able to share vital information for quick closure of cases. We've seen, we've all heard of cases in the past where information hasn't been shared with the right people, resulting in just horrific consequences. And we can think of a few like the Baby P situation, where information wasn't filtered across the various agencies, and they could have picked up that Baby P was a victim of abuse much quicker. So, we're working quite closely with housing providers, housing associations, both in Rhondda and around Cardiff, with the aim of supporting these sort of housing providers to tackle antisocial behaviour just through better collaboration and giving the power back to the people to be able to record, hate crime and antisocial behaviour via an app, so people and agencies are alerted quite quickly.
Right, so technology is key here, really.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
I mean, is it such a thing that, say you don't really want to phone the police or something like that, you can get onto this app and sort of and get some response from this app, say that, this is happening to me, like a social media kind of thing?
I think the main thing from our point of view is getting housing providers, local authorities to endorse it, because it's not actually something that people have to download as such.
Okay.
It's an actual... is used by social workers, support workers, going out about in the community, and they actually use this app on the victim's behalf. And
Okay.
they'll record the case and then alert other key people too. So, for instance, might be there's a dispute around neighbour nuisance, which has resulted in a hate crime. A housing officer from a housing association would go out, meet the victim, record the information, notify a hate crime officer within the area. They'd be able to identify from a case history whether there's a trend in antisocial behaviour in the actual vicinity, in the area, and also whether there's been any existing history. I mean, this victim might have been a case of domestic abuse in the past, so there might be concern there. And then all this information is shared between key agencies to best help the victim.
Yeah.
I think what we're really conscious of is there's some fantastic support workers and some really good support agencies out there. And I think our technology comes in place, but, you know, how can we support these key agencies in doing what they do best, which is spending time with victims, right from recording an incident to everything which is involved afterwards.
Yeah.
Because some of these incidents, you know, you don't just recover once it's recorded.
Why do you
It's
think
a long process.
Why do you think all these incidents have been increasing? You know, as time's been going by, you know, years ago you didn't really hear of this so much. So, what do you think the reason that it's increased so much?
I think it's a difficult answer,
Yeah,
really. I
it's
mean,
a
there's a
question.
couple of ways you can look at it. I think one of the reasons that we have seen an increase is actually because recording things are getting more easily recorded nowadays.
Yeah.
I think that does have an effect.
Yeah.
But you know, I think you'd be naive to think that that's the only reason.
Yeah.
I think there could be increases in society of certain incidents.
It could also be that people are more feel more comfortable now in sort of reporting incidents, whereas before maybe they weren't so much. And you'd find that the Welsh legislation and the Welsh government are putting legislation in place to basically ensure that cases are being reported accurately, correctly, and being shared. And there's a lot of legalities now, you know, behind case closures that go unnoticed, or victims that go unnoticed. And so a lot of the local councils, the housing providers, they're making this a much bigger deal than it probably used to be.
Okay, what about like social media hate crimes? I revenge, like, you know, people put, you know, private photos, shall we say, for revenge on their exes and things like that. You know, that's a hate crime as well, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think, you know, with the advent of social media, it's got its benefits, and then it's got opportunity for instances like this. There's a website as well called report-it.org.uk, where you can go and report hate crime incidents straight away and then get dealt with. And they've got loads of information on there about the nature of hate crime and actually what is a hate crime too. Because I think what you guys have just mentioned there about kind of the fear of reporting, that's massive.
Okay, and will you be going into schools to sort of help push, you know, protect the children, basically, who are experiencing things like this, not just bullying, but
Absolutely.
you know, hate crimes with the older kids, especially,
Yes.
you know,
Absolutely. I think
because they don't understand the news, and they've got pretty one-side tracked minds, haven't they? Really, you know, it's more of an understanding.
I mean, from our point of view, for our roadmap and what we're trying to push, we would definitely be looking at the education sector. You know, really trying to work with young people to get them to understand what hate crime is. So yes, that's definitely on the cards.
I think so. I mean, we've spoken about our technology as such, and in many ways it's not specific to the individual, it's for these key agencies who use it.
Yeah.
But on the other side, the point you make is really, really key here, is actually people need to know what a hate crime is, how they can report it, and not feel that what they're going to say is going to be, you know,
Discounted.
Exactly. You know, it's got to be taken seriously, and they've got to feel that there's going to be an end to it, a solution to something.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us on Cardiff Chick Chat. And you're our honorary chick.
Oh, nice. I was hoping that would happen.
Well, thanks so much for coming in. And we're going to start off with a little bit of Spanish Harlem.